Welcome. Welcome, my students. Thank you for asking this question. So we are going to answer the question that three students
asked. The first question is, why do I forget very fast academic information? What can I do to be able to remember what I have read in the books? Is it possible for me to retain what I learned in Form 1 and 2 now that I'm in Form 4? Right? The question 2 from student 2 is that, hi, I will be joining Form 3 in 2023. How can someone read and understand chemistry? At the question, I don't know what you are understanding other subjects and chemistry is becoming difficult. I guess that is the point. Student 3, sir, why is it difficult to understand chemistry? So those students who think that understanding chemistry is a challenge, I think the first thing you should know is the attitude. What attitude do you have towards that subject? What attitude do you have towards that teacher that is teaching you? Are you that student who sees a chemistry teacher and you think otherwise? So if you think negatively about the subject, about the teacher, definitely that topic, that subject, whichever it is, it must be very difficult to you. But now, before answering question 2, 3, I'm going to start to answer question 1. Why do I forget very fast academic information? So you read, but immediately as much as you read, you forget at the same rate. The rate, that's very wrong. So I want to see why and how would you rectify that. So before we see how to rectify that, you need to understand that we have 3 types of memories. A memory, memory cards are there where we store information. You have flash, the USBs or the flash, and then we have the memory cards where we store information. So in our brain, we have 3 types of memories. So let us look at them. We have 3 types of memories. There are 3 major classification of memory. Number 1, we have sensory memory. The one we call sensory memory. And we have another one, the second one we call short-term memory. And then the third one is long-term memory. So if you want to remember information 4 years to come, you must ensure that the information you read now, you will transfer that information to the long-term memory. When you are reading something right away, you are using short-term memory. Reading and understanding is a short-term thing. But now we need to know how to transfer the thing, or the notes, or the method, or the materials we are reading, the notes, the textbooks we are reading, the information. How can we transfer that information to a long-term memory? So information from the world around us begins to be stored by sensory memory, making it possible for this information to be accessible in the future. Short-term memory refers to the information processed by the individual in a short period of time. Your short-term memory allows you to process and understand the information in an instant. When you read a paragraph in a book, then you understand what you are reading in that paragraph. That is a short-term memory at work. When you read a paragraph in a textbook, John is running. You understand that John is running in that paragraph. That one is a short-term memory at work. Now we want to look at long-term memory. Long-term memory allows us to store information for long periods of time. This information may be retrieved consciously or unconsciously later. Your long-term memory facilitates how to walk, talk, ride a bike, engage in daily activities. It also allows you to recall, to remember important dates and facts. Do you remember? Can you forget the day you were born? If you were told that I was born in this date, that information is stored in the long-term memory. That's why you cannot forget your birthday. So those things are stored in the long-term memory. Now, the problem is when you are reading, you just read immediately, you rush out. After you finish reading, you go doing your own things. So for you to transfer information from the short-term memory to long-term memory, there are things you must do. Right? So before I give you the things that I have written down here, once you have read, if you are reading chemistry for example, you have read for 30 minutes, you have to reflect. For this information to be transferred to the long-term memory, you need to reflect. What is reflecting when you are studying? So if I was reading about bases and acids in chemistry, after I have read, you close the book. You are not cramming, you are reading. You close the book and then ask yourself, for sure, I've been sitting here reading for 30 minutes now. What have I read? If someone comes and asks me, David, you have been reading for 30 minutes. What have you read? Am I able to tell that person what I have read? So you reflect. You sit down for another 10-20 minutes trying to reflect. You can even close your eyes and reflect. What have I been reading? I have read about acids, bases. When an acid reacts with a base, it gives out water and salt. So you are reflecting. During reflecting, you are sending the information from the short-term memory to long-term memory, and you will not forget. So that's one way of sending information from the short-term to long-term memory. But how can I transfer information, important information from the short-term memory into long-term memory? I have already given one. It will take some effort and even involve dramatic changing your normal study routine. You must change the way you do things. You cannot keep on doing the same things the same way, expecting the different results. It is not going to work. So for you to transfer information from the short term to long term, there are things you must stop doing and start doing things differently. These are a number of strategies you can utilize to transfer information from short-term memory to long-term memory. I have given you the one I didn't include in these notes, the one I have called reflection. You must reflect. To reflect, I have explained, is after reading. Don't jump out and go play. Don't go playing before reflecting of what you are reading. Reflection means asking yourself, what have I been reading? I've read about characteristics of goods. These are the types of office. We have two types of offices. Now that is reflecting. You reflect after reading. So here I have another one. The second one I can, of course, here in the notes I've given it number one. Focus your attention. For you to transfer the information from the short-term memory to to long-term memory, attention is one of the major components of memory maintaining or transferring information into the long-term memory. In order for information to move from your short-term into your long-term memory, you need to actively attend to this information. Actively attending to this information, attention, reflecting. You attend to the information you have read. How do you attend to it? You reflect. That is giving the information the attention it requires. Try to study in places free of distractions. Distractions such as television, music, mobile phones, and other diversions. Getting rid of this distraction might be a challenge to the generation of today, but it is up to you. I wonder when I see a student reading chemistry with a mobile phone. Now the student is reading chemistry and the student is chatting with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, whoever it is, chatting. You read. After reading, you don't know which line you have stopped. You are here smiling, chatting. Somebody is telling you, I miss you, I don't know what. My friend, distractions such as television. You cannot watch a television while you are reading. You have not given attention to studying. You cannot listen to music. Some people, some students, I wonder, having earphones and trying to read business. Reading, listening to music, and then studying. Those are two parallel things that will never meet. Therefore, if you have decided it is reading, learning, give it the attention it deserves. Mobile phones, enemies of study. This mobile phone can be very useful if you use it the way it can assist you academically, because there is a lot of information in the internet. Therefore, a phone can assist you read or learn, but it can also distract you from reading, from learning and understanding. Sending information to the long-term memory requires you to reflect. If you are studying, I have not said that you should not have a phone. Have your phone, but if it is, you have said it is now 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., switch it even off. Say, I want to give reading the attention it requires. So I have said that. Number 2, you need to avoid cramming. Avoid cramming. Instead of cramming, study regularly to improve your memory. Studying repeatedly. Remember, what is learning? I want to give you an assignment and go and find out what is learning. Learning! Before you go to find out the definition, you should know that learning is doing something repeatedly. So learning, for you to send the information to the long-term memory, you must read, reread again and again. So you cannot read today a topic in Form 1 biology, the cell topic 1, and then you are in Form 1, you finish Form 1, you have never revisited that topic, and you want to understand biology, you want to understand it, it will not work. For you to understand that topic of the cell, you must read it in a week. In fact, you must read it at least 3 or twice. In 1 week, that topic. Do it the same. After 1 week, do it again. After another 1 week, do it again. My friend, you will understand that thing automatically. Let me ask you, I don't know whether you have ever experienced this. When a new song has been released and it is a hit song, Do you listen to that song once and you have it in your head, every lines are in your head? No, it doesn't work. Because the song is sweet, you listen it twice, thrice, 4 times, 20 times, and then at some time, you hear the song singing in your mind even when the song is not there. So, for you to take information to a long-term memory, you must do what? Read repeatedly and avoid cramming. Cramming will not us. Reading repeatedly does not mean you are cramming. Studying your notes over a number of sessions gives you the time you need to adequately process the information. Students who continuously and regularly study remembers the content far better than those who wait until it is exam time. There are students who wait until it is towards the 2 weeks to exam. Now this is the time they want to bring all the books on the table and start reading. You will lose hope. Therefore, students who continuously and regularly read or study remembers the content far better than those who wait for exam time and do all of their studies in one marathon session. So, if you want to remember in your exams, in exam room, you must have read this content, if it is chemistry, from 1 topics, from 2 topics, from 3 topics, from 4 topics. You must have read each topic at least 10 times. At least 10 times. A serious reading on that topic. 10 times. I said at least. It depends on the intelligence of a student also. There are students who just read once and those things are in their head. So it is also important you need to understand yourself. You need to understand your capacity, your IQ, your intelligence. Am I an average student? Yes. Therefore, what I'm saying here is for average students. But for those who are, we have those who are naturally clever. I know even myself, I know them. I know a student who is naturally clever. Once the teacher taught, finish the business. The students will never go back to the notes and it's okay and they will score very well. But you need to understand yourself that you are a slow learner. And if you are a slow learner, you are the one I'm talking to. You must read, find time. So finding time to read this 10 times, a topic 10 times, there are so many things you must sacrifice. You must sacrifice sleep. There is no student who can score an A in chemistry, in biology, in physics, who sleeps at 9 p.m., wakes up at 6 a.m. in the morning. If there is there, they are the one I'm talking who are the exceptions. The one who are naturally genius, who are genius. They are there. But if you are a struggler, an average student, you must sacrifice sleep. You must sacrifice sleep for you to get what you want. Another thing is you must sacrifice party company. You must choose your friends wisely for you to read. If not, if you have the type of friends who comes taking you out, outings or telling you a lot of nonsense, then you are not going to make it academically. In fact, you must sacrifice a lot of things for you to perform. Education or learning is not easy. No one can, I will not lie to you that learning is easy. No. Therefore, we are in number 3. Structure and organize your work in an orderly manner. So, how do we do structure? Structure and organize the materials or the notes you are using to study. Try grouping similar concepts and terms together. Or make an outline of your notes and textbook readings to help group related concepts. Now Now, for example, how do you organize your work? Or how do you structure the notes? For you to remember the things, remember we are reading a lot of content. From Form 1 to Form 4 chemistry alone, there are so many topics. In maths, they are there. English, they are there. Swahili, they are there. Geography, history. You see? So this, if you arrange this information haphazardly, zigzag, you are not going to remember this information. So for this information to be sent to the long-term memory, you need to structure and arrange this and organize these notes, these concepts in an orderly manner. You must have a sequence of things. Yeah, and I mean you must arrange this thing chronological way of arranging things, one following one another. For example, how do I organize? I'm reading a topic. For you to remember, you must know the topic itself, the subtopics in that topic. Now that's arranging information. You should relate the information that you read that is a prerequisite of another one. For example, if you run statistics in Form 2, we have statistics in Form 4. We have probably this one. We have another topic that we run in Form 1, and it is also, for example, arithmetic, commercial arithmetic. It is in Form 1 and it is in Form 3. So you need to arrange this, you need to match these concepts from Form 1 to the one that is in Form 3. That's organizing your information. Organic Chem 1, we read it in Form 3, and we have Organic 2 in Form 4. So this concept, you must organize them in such a way that they are in order. Number 4, you need to visualize the concept. When you are reading, try to create a picture of what you are reading. That is, you visualize. You give it a visual image. So those subjects that have images, try to visualize. As you read that, you look at that image and then you visualize that. Another last thing I want to talk about is read out aloud. That's why I told you that there are things you must change the way you do them. If you have been used to reading like this, there are people who you find reading like this. No, that's not reading. That's not studying. Studying, you must be active. You have to read with a pen. Remember, there is a connection between the fingers and the brain. So as you read, you should be reading with a pen, writing short notes. You read, you write short notes. That is reading. Now, we are talking about reading out loud. A good student, in your home, you wake up at 3 a.m. You read a concept quietly. Now you come early in school in the morning, you stand in front of the class, you start teaching. You teach that concept. That way, you will never forget that information. So, try as much as you can to read a concept, come, show others willingly. Don't limit yourself. Come, show them. Even when they don't want, just go in front, find a piece of chalk, write them, try to teach them. They listen or they don't listen, it is for your own good. You go, you know math concepts, you go to somebody who doesn't know math, you tell that person, let me show you math. You show that person math. It is for your own good. That information will go a long way and you will not forget it because it will go directly into the long-term memory. That one is a very critical one. You read your notes, you have the concept. Today you read, you remember, if you read at 3 a.m. up to 5 a.m., you read a certain topic and finish it. You come to class early. You just come in front. You even go to Form 1, you go to a different class. You tell them you want to teach them this topic. You teach them. If you revise that topic in Form 1, you go to Form 1 and you say them, I want to teach. It is for your own good. You teach them, and in the process of teaching them, you are sending that information to the long-term memory, and it will be very, very helpful to you. Very fast, I want to answer the question where students saying that, hi, I will be joining Form 3 in 2023. How can someone read and understand chemistry? I have talked the way to understanding. You have to repeat, read, and repeat. But now, the other thing is, you cannot read something you don't understand. You have no interest in that subject. How will you understand? Therefore, you must have the right attitude towards every subject you have chosen to do. You must love that teacher whether he or she beats you. You must love that teacher. When you love the teacher, automatically you love the subject. Even if he doesn't know how to teach, even if he talks like me, even if he doesn't know how to talk in English, even if he stammers, do not criticize that teacher. If you criticize, it is your own, you are digging your own grave. Love that teacher the way he is or she is. Even when he is not lovable. Even if it looks like I don't know what. When you love that teacher, automatically you will love the subject and you will. Sometimes it is difficult to love. Yes. But if you want to pass, I'm talking about those who are asking questions, how do I? You must love that teacher. Love this. Once you love the teacher, you be close with that teacher. Very close. You ask a question here and there, then the attitude will be very correct and you will be able to pass your. Now, sir, why is it difficult to understand chemistry? Chemistry is very easy actually. But there are topics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 topics in Form 1 and in Form 2 that makes chemistry simple. But in the time you have left these topics in Form 1 and in Form 2, you did not understand them, then chemistry for sure will be very difficult. Now these are the topics I have written here. Sorry, we have topic in Form 1 that is very critical. Very critical. Topic number 1 for understanding chemistry is called acid and bases in Form 1. Make sure you understand that topic in Form 1, acids and bases. This is where you know a metal plus an acid gives you this. Base plus an acid. A metal plus water. Those are the things you must know. So acids and bases and combustion, water and hydrogen, those forms the basis of understanding chemistry in Form 1. In Form 2, we have 4 topics that are very, very critical for you to understand chemistry. If you fail to understand topic 1, structure of the atom and the periodic table, Form 2 work, my friend, chemistry will be your greatest enemy. It means you will not know the chemical symbol, you don't know the first 20 elements, you don't know the valence of electrons, you cannot balance an equation, you cannot write an equation. Chemistry from the other forms, Form 3 and Form 4, it is a revision. So it is important for you to make the chemistry teacher your friend to ensure that you understand topic 1, structure of the atom and the periodic table, Form 2. Another topic you need to understand. By the way, once you have understood topic 1, topic 2, chemical families, is now simple because you have understood topic 1. Structure and bonding also depends on topic 1, structure of the atom. Another very, very important topic in Form 2 that you must understand for you to understand chemistry is called salts. Salts, Form 2. This is the topic you cannot ignore. The qualitative analysis in Form 3 and 4 Practical Paper 3 depends on salts. Entire qualitative analysis. Inorganic part of it. Organic depends on organic. Therefore, writing equations depends on salts. But these salts is what you write in acids and bases in Form 1. Form 1. That a metal plus an acid gives you a salt plus hydrogen gas. Form 1 work. Therefore, it is important for you to master these topics I have told you. If you are in Form 3 now, like this person here is saying in Form 3, and you don't understand chemistry, it is not too late. Go back to Form 1, read, find somebody who understands chemistry to assist you read and understand acids and bases, hydrogen, water and hydrogen in Form 1 that is, and then air and combustion, Form 1. In Form 2, find a way of understanding the first 4 topics in Form 2, and your chemistry will be what? I don't have much experience, as you can see. I'm around 30 years old. I'm on my 30s. I don't have much experience, but I will tell you for sure, these are the basics of chemistry, the basics of understanding chemistry. Have the right attitude. Don't despise a teacher whenever, even if, some people, we were born in villages, we don't know how to speak good English. We just know the basic English. So don't hear the way I think, you know English, you was a student, now you are despising a teacher because he doesn't speak good English. Do you think despising that teacher teaching chemistry like I'm talking in Kisii? Some words I'm speaking, they come out as if I'm talking in Kisii. And you think you will understand my chemistry? No. Therefore, have the right attitude, love your teacher. Passing entirely depends on the attitude. Love your teacher, follow that teacher, make him or her the best friend ever, and you will be able to appreciate later. Thank you very much. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.